Alright, YouTube, JBob the video game slob coming back at you. We gotta head out, check out this garage sale, invite only, see what we can do, and make the most of it here. Oh my gosh, we don't have time. We gotta merge. Let's go. Alright, so you saw the walk up there. We're all checked out. We're at like $320 for everything we got. Bunch of video game stuff, bunch of miscellaneous stuff. And yeah, my buddy spent another $100. So for $420, $420, yeah, that's a pretty funny number. I think they should be happy. We'll get all this stuff inside, jump back with you, YouTube, here in a second, and go through all the particulars. Alright, YouTube, JBob the video game slob is back at the house. Thanks for traveling along with us there. As you can see, it is a total crazy, chaotic situation when you go up there. But you end up with a bunch of crazy, chaotic junk, and that's what we're looking at here. Emphasis probably on the word junk. And so we'll probably have to shoot this in 2 parts to make it time effective so you guys aren't here all day. But yeah, we can start digging into it. So the total, you know, I would say with, you know, you always got to include like gas to get there and stuff like that. We're looking at a shade under $400. Probably something like $390, something like that. So with that being said, let's see what we can get back. Always kind of have to be thinking with the retail brain on this stuff, not so much the collector's brain, because it's stuff that I'm going to put back out onto the market, and I just have to have a margin on. It's not really stuff, for the most part, that's going to end up in the collection. You know, there'll be a piece here or there, but anyway... some of the stuff I remember the prices of. Other stuff you're just kind of throwing in a pile and adding up. We have the 1991 Dungeons and Dragons game by TSR. You know, pretty cool. One of the better finds, I think. I remember him. I picked that up and asked him, and he said $6. Not like super mint, but always good to have. These wrestling rings, I think he said this was $2. So those always do well. You know, that'll be like a marketplace thing for me. We'll have to do a load of laundry to get all these plushes. But big plushes are always kind of good. Has the official Mario tag. I think those are $1 or maybe $2 for the bigger one. It was like $1 for the smaller Mickey Mouse here. Vintage Mickey Mouse. Needs a little cleanup, but has the Mickey Mouse Club t-shirt. So I'm guessing 60s, 70s. Something like that. So that was kind of an easy grab. Little Minecraft, very popular right now, so that'll head out onto the shelves and do well, I think, for us. This might be the 3rd or 4th, this stupid Donkey Kong I have. Should probably not buy it, but I keep grabbing it. I forget if he was saying $2 or $3 on backpacks, but, you know, depending on the backpack, we'll retail that, you know, $5, $10, that kind of thing. So any of those we see, we just kind of pick up because they're easy to do. Most of the controllers were $3. That 360 weird racing wheel thing, probably still in its original package. Nobody probably used that. Those are pieces of crap. Games range between like $1 and $3. These all had the games in them. Wii Fits do nothing for me. We have tons of those. I'll never sell the Rainbow Six. But, you know, Operation Kids Next Door, you know, SpongeBob, SquarePants. I don't think there's a manual in this one, though. No. Actually, does that even match? Is that the right disc? Yeah, it's Bikini Bottom. All right, there we go. So we got that one. That's a decent one. The Lego Star Wars will sell. I think this is a rather uncommon 360 game. I could be wrong, but that might be $5 or $10. Dead to Rights. You know, nothing great, but just sort of stuff for a couple bucks. I'm not going to leave for the next guy. A bunch of these controllers for $3. One had batteries, and we were able to test it out, and that worked. So that was good news. I think I paid $1 for that, because I said there's no way I was paying you $3 for an off-brand PS1 controller. Really need this one to work. Did not have dried up batteries in it or corrosion, so hopefully it does. I think those are getting fairly expensive. We did pick up a Wii, so it's good to have a Wiimote. These were a couple bucks. It came as a pair. I have no idea what on earth is going on there, but we have that. More Xbox One stuff. You know, again, always sort of good stuff to have. It might not be corroded. That may be a good one. Loose discs are $1, so Minecraft Story Mode, not, you know, the greatest a deal. I think he wanted me to give him 10 on that, so I think I did, because it had the box and it looked really nice. So we gave him 10 on that. We got the cords for the Wii. I paid 10 for the Wii with the box, or maybe it was 15. I don't know, something like that. Another memory card I'll never sell. I forget. I think he said 5 maybe, but you know, these I can still get like 10, 12 out of pretty easily. And he threw in the cable that goes with it. I don't know if people pay for that cable anymore. I doubt it. Yeah, more dollar loose disc stuff. Oh, that was actually in there. Okay, so with the poster, that's probably a good deal for $3. Sports Champions was free, because it should be. Movies are usually a quarter, so Children of Dune looked like it sold for a couple bucks online. Obviously, Dune has had sort of a resurgence. Just Dance, always good to have. This one is disc 2, the play disc, which is always missing, so this will complete one of the many things I have downstairs. So for $1, I was willing to do that. This came with the NES we're going to see, so that was free. This was probably the best game. I think it's like a $30 game. I'll have to check into that, but pretty happy about that. We picked up a $5 DS, but as you can see, it's got a broken thing there. He promised he's fully tested it. It works. Doesn't matter for $5, even broken. 50 cents or like $1 for the mug. Those always do well for me. I think the books are like usually a quarter, 50 cents. So we picked up How to Draw. And of course, there's no way that one's an official book. But these say Scholastic, so those are probably official. So those are good to have. I paid $50 for the pair, and he swears both work. And sometimes he's reputable and knows what he's talking about. More than, you know, more than average, we do all right on those. And there's our $30 NES, so $80 for the systems. I don't think we're doing terrible. We got the box for the Wii, which isn't in super great shape, but it is what it is. And then all these discs had cases that were like left out in the rain or the thing to get wet. So they're all sort of like, they're dry. They're not full of mold, but they're just funky. So we paid $1 each for these. You know, Guitar Hero, always good to have. Overpaying for these two, but, you know, you're kind of buying all of it, and you want to be invited back. So sometimes you got to buy the junk to go along with the better stuff. So we'll stitch this together with the ride-along video, and the walk-up video is part 1. We'll tackle all those bins down here. Give me a minute to get all this stuff cleaned up, tested out, that kind of thing. We'll come back with a part 2 the day following here, or the next video following, and let you know where we're at. Thanks for following along, YouTube. JBob, the Video Game Slob. We'll talk to you next time.